It's Lillo Brancato, and you're checking out Thisis50.com. Thank you.
I first met Sonny in 1960. I was 9 years old. He was the #1 man in the neighborhood. And as I grew, he grew in power. He became a boss. And I was his friend.
What up, this is RoseD, this is 50. I am here with Lillo Brancato. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a long while.
I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. You were adopted, right? At the
Yes.
age of 4?
Well, 4 months.
4 months, oh, 4 months,
Right,
okay.
little baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you are, people don't know this, but you are originally Colombian, correct?
Colombian, yes, born in
Tell me about
Bogota.
that.
My mom and dad, they had a miscarriage.
Oh, okay.
And didn't think they could have any more kids. Looked to adopt and found me in an orphanage. And then went on and adopted me. And then my brother Vincent, they found out they were pregnant with my brother Vincent.
Oh, wow.
And and then we're 9 months apart, my brother and I.
Nice, are you guys
So,
close?
Yeah, really close.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, let's skip all that. Bronx Tale. How did that come about? Major movie, huge fan. Anybody who doesn't know about the Bronx Tale, you have to check it out because it's just one of those iconic movies.
Yeah, thank you. That came about back in 1992. The actual date was July 5th.
Wow.
I was just on Jones Beach,
Chilling on Jones Beach.
Yeah, beginning of the summer, went there with my friends. And I had heard about the film, that a film was being made. It was Robert De Niro's directorial debut, and they were looking for actors with no experience necessary, and that there was a role for someone to play his son. And I had been told in the past that I resemble him.
Definitely do.
An uncanny resemblance, but I never really put much thought into it. Because I thought, to myself, what a long shot that would be for me to get cast in that role. Play alongside my idol. And then I was on the beach that day, and there was someone there, a casting scout, who was handing out flyers. I was in the water, and my brother.
Just chilling in the water.
Yeah. And the guy went up to where my friends were, handing out flyers, and my brother made sure that the guy stayed. He said, "Hold on, I'm gonna get my brother." And he got me out of the water, and came and introduced me to the guy. His name was Marco. And when he first saw me, he said, "Wow, you do look like him," because my brother said, "My brother looks like him." He said, "Yeah, you do look like him." And we're auditioning, kids in the Bronx, the Belmont Playhouse, and it was a Sunday. He said, "We're usually not open on a Sunday." He said, "But I like you." I started doing some impersonations, things
from
like that.
From the taxi cab, right? From the
taxi driver, and he was like, "Wow, I really like you." He said, "Why don't you come in tonight? I'll be there." And at this point in time, I hadn't had any acting experience, or I never even saw anything in like a script form, like format. Right. So I went in. He gave me a scene. He said, "Listen, this is I want you to learn this scene. Take your time. Don't rush. And when you're ready, let me know, and we'll do the scene." And when I first looked at it and saw what it was, it kind of just seemed like something that was familiar to me.
Something natural.
Yeah, something that I was able to do. And, thank God, that I was blessed with that ability. It was the scene when, in the actual film, it was when I was shaving. But in the original script, De Niro was shaving, and I go to speak to him while he was in the mirror. And that was the scene. And we did the scene. The guy was blown away. He loved it.
You know me, I get along with everybody on the bus, but when it comes to marriage, I just think we should marry within our own, that's all. I'm not prejudiced.
Hey, Dad, you're not prejudiced. Don't tell me you're not prejudiced, because you are. What would you say if I wanted to go out with a colored girl?
Well, you would never do that.
Hey, you never know. This girl might be one of the great ones. I mean, you only allow 3 great women in your lifetime, you know what I'm saying?
Who told you that?
Joey also.
That's major.
Yeah.
You went from being on the beach to actually acting in a movie with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Was it like surreal time? Like, how did that feel?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just, because when I first met him, I didn't know I was going to meet him. So it was like such a surprise, but it was definitely surreal. Because then I grew up watching this guy in movies and idolizing him and impersonating. And then to actually be with him and to, have the ability and the chance, the opportunity to work with him was something that I can't even really explain in words,
So how did your life change after that role? Like, you were just a regular 15-year-old, focused on school and college, and then all of a sudden you're thrown Robert De Niro, boom, Bronx Tale.
It definitely changed, but the real change, I mean, it was a dramatic and profound change when the movie was actually released. It's like overnight, just the way my life changed and just the way people just come out of the woodwork. And you know, everyone wants to be your friend and everyone wants to get close to you and everyone wants
Especially at that age, it must have been hard.
Exactly, and at that age, because you just don't have experience and wisdom, you're very, very vulnerable to all of that outside, those outside forces that want to get in and kind of like live vicariously through you and experience what you're experiencing. Right. And you know, there's a big price to pay for that, because then, you know, then like you get exposed to a lot of dangerous stuff. Then of course the drugs,
right,
the alcohol, and that's something that I was affected in a real negative way.
So you also had a big role in the HBO series Sopranos.
Right.
Tell me about that. How was it for you to go from the Bronx to the Sopranos? Was it easy, or was it just kind of like falling into the same place? Because I know you said it was very natural when you first read the script. Did you feel the same way about the Sopranos?
Well, The Sopranos, I was on the second season, and the first season had a lot of success. So you kind of like, the show has like kind of now like a reputation to uphold.
Right.
So now you're going to be part of it.
So you have a bar to...
Yeah, you know, so there's like that, you know, you have to fulfill, you know what I mean, and just people's hopes of what the second season can possibly be after, you know, seeing the first season and how great it was. You know, I mean, that's another, you know, experience, you know, in my life that I'm just so grateful to have been part of, you know. But it, you know, definitely, you know, and I definitely want to say, you know, something about James Gandolfini, because, you know, that guy was a tremendous, tremendous actor, tremendous person, and may he rest in peace.
Yeah, to all these that don't know, he passed away.
Right,
So.
great guy, great guy.
So what's going on in your mind at this point? Because I know you said you had a lot of negative things, people around you. Like at this point, it's 2005? Correct me, Sopranos, 2005?
No, Sopranos, we shot, I was in the show, the season aired in 2000,
okay.
January of 2000, so we shot it in 99.
Okay, so at this point in 2000, what's going through your mind? Like, what are the things that you're going through? Like, you know, you said negative people, negative things, meaning drugs, alcohol.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, you know, at that point in time, I mean, my judgment, my mind was clouded because I was, you know, I was a drug addict. You know, and
so you're already on drugs at this point?
Right.
Okay.
I was using, you know, I was, you know, at the time using drugs. You know, at that point it was, you know, it was mostly like on the weekends.
That's how it always starts?
Yeah, that's how it always starts. And, you know, I could have capitalized a lot more on, you know, the opportunities that I was given.
Right.
But because, you know, I didn't have that clarity, I squandered a lot of, you know, great things that, you know, and I just could have made better decisions. I didn't see a lot of what was, you know, coming at me. And just like these people, you know what I mean? Because my own mind was like warped because of the drugs. So, you know, I wasn't making the best decisions. So, you know, at that point in time, I can't, you know, I just wish I could go back and make better decisions. But, you know, we can't do that in life.
Right.
That's just the way life is, you know?